Yo, what is up guys? So we are back with another All the Mods 10 video. In the past two episodes we completed Evil Craft and we also completed Iron Spells and Spell Books. So this episode we are going to dive into another one of the big mods that is going to be hopefully a faster process now that I've done it once, and then also because if we look at Immersive Engineering, it's not going to be that complicated, I don't think. We just have to get started and start plowing through stuff. So what we need to be able to make at the end of it all is we need to be able to make this Tesla coil. So let's put that right there and see what we have to do to get there. And to start it off, we have to get this wrench, which we are just going to make a pattern for it just in case we need it in the future. Put it there, and then we should just be able to auto craft or just craft it just like that. And we are into immersive engineering. And the first things that we need to do is we need to make a coke oven and an alloy kiln. So we need some coke bricks and we need some kiln bricks. So let's make autocrafts for those, because that's like that. And all we need is sandstone. Make an autocraft for that, and then that should be all good. And then same thing here, so we can just put these in like so, and then we can see how many we need of each. So we need 27 coke bricks, so we need 27 of those, and then we need 8 kiln bricks. Kiln, we need 8 of those. So take the 8 of those, and then take the 27 coke bricks, and we'll just start by putting these right here. I believe this is just built like so, and then boom, now we have a coke oven. And so let's get this going first. So what we need to do is we need to get this pumping full of so this will create, so coke ovens is how we make our coal coke. Take a guess what it's made of. When you use the oven is to smelt logs into charcoal, or smelt coal into coal blocks, or smelt coal and coal blocks into coke. Either of these will produce creosote oil, as well as the normal recipe tells you how to make it. So we'll do coal coke in here. So what we will do is we will set up a wireless real quick. So let's get 2 of those. Let's get 2 wireless. We need our wireless thing right here. And then we are also going to want our P2P tunnel. And then we may also want cables. I believe we want to go with blue. So this is the blue room, so I don't really want to go with blue. We'll go with lime green. And then we're going to want anchors most likely. And then we're probably going to want acceleration cards. Just make some more of those. Got a stack right there. And then we also are going to want accessors. So we got 4 of those, just in case we need power for anything. And then the last thing that we'll probably want to have is import and output buses. So we will just grab a stack of those, and then import export, and we'll want a stack of those. And then now if we go home real quick, it's the fastest way to get there, we will take our wireless and we'll take it from this cube right here, and we'll take our memory card we will grab 32 channels, and then we will go up and then back down to the blue room, and we will put this right here, link that up, and then now what we can do is we can take our P2P channel and connect it. So we need this P2P, our P2P channels, and then our dense cable. And what we should be able to do is just bring this over like so. Bring one cable up right there, one cable up right there. And if we take a export bus and put charcoal in there, we'll do charcoal blocks or coal blocks. Block of coal with acceleration cards. And we'll do a import on this side with acceleration cards. So now, we need coal blocks. So let's make a coal block recipe. Let's make a coal recipe. Toss these in here. And we will also make crafting cards. We have one of those. So if this is requesting coal blocks, it should be able to craft those. And these should be input. Yep, there we go. And can we speed this up? Does not look like there's a block for me to speed this up. I wonder if there's anything we can put in here to speed it up. But that is running. So now that is running, we should have oil being produced, which we have a bunch of crude oil, synthetic oil. So as that's producing, we'll see how that goes. So while we're waiting on that, we can set up the kiln, which I believe is a like this. Yep. And so now that we have that created, this will create our electrum ingots, which we have that, our brass ingots, which we have that, our bronze ingots, which we have that. The only two that we don't have are these Constantine and these Invar. So let's see if we can get those made up real quick so we can just bypass that whole situation. So what is this? Constantine. So we don't have Constantine set up. We can make a seed. So what we can do is we can craft a bunch of this dust. And Invar dust. Do we have Invar? We have a way to make Invar, but we don't have Invar seeds or anything like that. So we need 9 blocks compressed, which is, we need 4 9 blocks compressed, which is a total of 9 blocks. So what we need to do is we need to craft 9 times 9 times 4, which is 324. So we'll have that being crafted up. And then so we will make a auto craft for this. And then we will get that into a smelter like this. And we will do the same exact thing because I believe it is the same recipe. So to make the seed, yep, it is 9 blocks compressed. So we should be able to make 36 blocks, 9 blocks compressed. Go Constantine, so we need to make 9 times 9 times 4. Have that going. We need to make this seed, which is just 4 of those. And a seed base. So we're gonna need 2 seed bases. And then Constantine. I believe this is done or close to done. 36. Boom. And to make this seed, it is the same thing. Now we can go make these seeds real fast. So we go home. Don't know how much we're going to use these ores, but instead of having to go through the smelting process of it all, we can just make a seed of it real fast. Like so, and we can toss these in our super fast essence farm, which I'm trying to think of one that we don't need up here. So we don't really need emeralds like that. So that can go in there. It should be good on nature essence for the time being. Put that right there. So, oh, Constantine, we need these. I'll put the emeralds back down. And then now all we have to do is put that in a autocraft. That makes 4, and then in bar also. That makes 4. So now we can take these out, put those in. Take those 2 out. Oop, lag. Okay. Boom, and now that should be done. So now we should have the unlimited invar and everything along those lines. So we just need to get some of those in our inventory. Like so, and then we need invar. Like so. Now those are done. Has this produced? This has to have produced oil by far. How long does this take? That's not created oil yet. We might have to make more of those. So those are done. So now moving on. So kiln, steel ingot. So we also need to make a crude blast furnace, which is this recipe. So let's go into here. Let's make that. And we can make that. We need 27 of these blast bricks. Blast, let's go 27, start, boom, thank you. And we can line this up just like so. Smack it with that. So now the blast furnace is done. I believe we have steel. Yep, we have 1.something million steel. So we're doing metallurgic infuser. We don't really need that. Improved blast furnace, reinforced blast furnace bricks. So let's just tear this down, toss it in there. Let's make a pattern for that. Blast, and I believe we need 27 of these. Just like so. Oh, did we not build that right? trust me, this roadblock ain't lying when it says it's improved. This one can be automated, receive inputs and outputs from the top and outputs from the front end slots. Also, we can have preheaters to do that. So, oh, you need to put a hopper on top. So hopper. Boom. So now we have our blast furnace. So this, I don't think can pull this. I don't think this will be able to pull out. So it has an input. We'll see how that goes. We can read up on it. You can automate this. I just not 100% sure how. Okay, so we have that. So blast furnace, preheater. Not really worried. What is this? Coke oven, yeah. So now these are just the blocks that we need to get into to make these different machines. So now we need to figure out what we need to make. So if we go into our tab here, so we need to make aluminum plates, electrum coil, iron mechanical component, HV accumulator, and advanced electronic circuit. To make the electrum coil, you need this. Right, so electrum coil. And then to make these, it is electrum wire and a stick. And to make electrum wire is these two, which you can automate that, I guess. Might be worth doing. Okay, and then to make the mechanical component, that one is pretty simple. To make a HV accumulator, we have HP granite dust, so coke dust in a, so to make this, so we need to make this bar, you make this dust, which is made through industrial squeezer. Okay, and I'll create that. Do we need to, okay, that's easy. Treated wood is bucket of creosote oil. So we need to make treated wood also, which we can do that. That's just a recipe we need to create. Okay. And to make this circuit, we need engineer's paper and engineer's workbench. We need aluminum wire, which is made with those. Okay. We need a vacuum tube, which takes copper wire. And then we need two vacuum tubes and wire and one of these plates, which takes one of these and one of these. And some of this, which you get from you get that from mixing these two in there, creosote oil, and you get this from putting these two in there to make that. Okay. So now we have a list of everything we need to make. It should be pretty easy. So first off, we can get going by making sure we can make aluminum plates, which we should be able to. So let's go into our pattern encoder. Let's go patterns. We have 36. So we need to make aluminum plates, which I believe we can do already. Actually, that's okay. Yeah. So aluminum plates. Aluminum plates. Yep, we can make those. Okay. Need to learn how to make one of these. We also need to learn how to make these. And then learn how to make these. And learn how to make these. So now we are up to the electrum plate. which I believe we can make. Yep, we can make the electrum plate. So we need iron ore mechanics. So we need this. Ooh, iron plate. We can make that. And we're on to this portion. So you make that. We need to make the treated wood, which we shouldn't have to can that. We should just be able to bucket of creosote oil. Do we really have to can it though? Does our recipe work? Yes, it does. Okay. So if we go back to here, so okay, so cancel that one. Okay. So we have the treated planks. Now we need to make the dust, but we need the coke dust. So we need to make the refinery. We need to know how to make that table. We need to know how to make these and make this. We need to know how to make this. Nickel plate. You know how to make a nickel plate. Copper wire. Okay, and then we need okay, that's fine. Boom, boom. Do we know how to make a silver plate? So let's toss all these in here. We should shift click those. We need to go down to our compressor, not an osmium compressor, the steel, this one right here, like so. Okay, and now we just gotta get to crafting. So let's make this first. See if we can make that first. So what is that called? The coil block. Coil block. We made a coil block, so that's done. Iron mechanical component. Iron mechanical. Make 100 of those. Hundred's probably not necessary, but we created a stack, so those are done. And now this is where we need to get into our first. We need to make an industrial squeezer. So industrial squeezer. Be right here. And so we need to make some of these, some of these, some of these. Okay. So now we need to go back here and we need to learn how to make this, learn how to make these. Okay, and we need to learn how to make these. Which we can do. We already know how to make these. We need to learn how to make these. Learn how to make these. That. That. What is this? Treated wood plank. Boom, boom, boom. Now let's toss all these in here. Yes, we'll only make like these once, but it's still going to be useful to have all this stuff in auto crafts. So now to make this, we need 2, 1, 6, 3. So let's go at Immersive Engineering. Okay, so we need 2 of these. We need 6 of these. Okay, 6 of those. We only need 2 of those. We need 1 of these. And then we need 3 of these. Take those 3, take 1 of those. And then we need a piston. We need a piston, 2 of those, and 4 of those. So we need 2 of these and 4 of, where are the barrels at? Okay, and then piston. And then now we can see how we're supposed to build this by going over like this. Okay. So step 1 is you place your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus 1 of these blocks and that in the middle. So the way we'll do this, so we need the 6 and 1 of those. So we need this to go like so, right? So 3, nope. So we already have this wrong. So boom, boom, boom. Like that, I believe, with, well, just like that. Let's take a look. Yep, just like that. And then it is this on top of that with 1 of those right there. And our 4 barrels right there. And then we need to put the piston on top and the 3 right there. So it should be, can you rotate this with a wrench? We should have made that a thing. Because now I'm going to place this like this. No. Okay. Could you quit being difficult, please? Boom. Take 1 of these, put that down. Let that disappear. Take that, put that back. And then take our 3 fences and then 3, and I believe we just boom, smack that like that. Now we have made the industrial squeezer, which is going to need power, not an issue. And then so this can go away. So it's going to need power. So we can do power. So we just need to bring this all the way over. Let's not destroy the bottom piece. So this still has not gone through 1 block. I want to say because it doesn't have an output. Because I don't know if this counts as an output. Doesn't give a time frame either. $500 versus 5,000. We'll see. We'll let that continue to run. Okay. And then what we were doing with the squeezer is, I believe we were making industrial squeezer. we just created, right? Industrial squeezer. We need to put 8 coke dust in the industrial squeezer. So let's grab some power. Okay, now can you hook power? So we want to use these cables too on one of these. So let's see if we are able to do this real fast. So do this with a like that. And then can we put this in anywhere? No. Okay, good to know. It's not a huge deal. You just need a wrench. What we can do is, I want to say this is where the power has to go in, so we can grab our dense cable, bring it up like that, and then put our plate down like this, and then put our energy cable down. Does not connect still. Doesn't connect right there either. The specific power cable that's needed. I know I used ender gates last time, but I'm trying to avoid using ender gates, but I guess this is what we'll do for right now. So then let's grab ender gate. Oh, it's not that block. It's not that block. Oh, it's right here, I think. Yeah. So let's see. We bring this up like so, which I'm not a fan of, but we'll try it. Put that right there with one of these that does work. Configurator. That pulls just like that. So now this is powered. And now we just need to put coke dust in. Coke dust, which we have a lot of coke dust. I don't think we can speed this machine up either. Oh, maybe. Oh, we can. Nice. So now we have some of this. So all we have to do, so we can automate this. We might be able to put it in right here. Let's try a export bus right there with cable coming up with coke dust going in. Let's see if that puts it in the machine. It does. Okay, extremely fast. And then let's see if we can just put a input face or import right here on a cable over. We need our anchors because I don't want that to happen. Well, actually, what we could do to get rid of that issue is actually grab that cable, take that away, and now it's just importing. It's not importing. So maybe it does need to be right here. Let's try that. Wait, is it importing? No. Hopefully, oh wait. That's the export bus right here. Oh, that's in a horrible position. Can we change this? Let me just check and see this real quick. See if we put an import bus right here. Actually, this is right here. Yeah. Right. Well, because we have. So right now, so this might be the fluid out. So let's put one right here. Oh, damn. Didn't mean to do that. We need to put this in there. Okay, let's put an import right here. that's starting to take it out. Put those in, now that's empty. And so this import face will have to be here too, because it will import other stuff for us if we ever run anything else through here. So like now this is set up and technically automated. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that away and put that like that. I just don't like how this has to be in the face, which is annoying. But I guess it is what it is. So then we can cover this up because it's gonna bother me if we don't. Looks a little bit better, not much, but a little bit. All right, so now that we have the dust being created right here, and let's smelt that in a energized smelter, like so. And then we can go HO, this requires 100, so we can. Now we have a stack of that, which takes that. So we should honestly be able to create this part because we make this. Oh, take this pattern out and put those in there. Oh, pattern. What do I do with the pattern? It's right here. Take that out, put that in there, and then go to craft. What is this called? HV. So put that in there and then craft one of those. And now that's crafted. And those can go in there, that can go in there, that can go up there, right here. Boom. Somewhat organized now. Okay. So now moving on to the next thing. So we have this, and this done. So now we need to craft one of these, which is a engineer's workbench. Engineer's workbench, which we don't know how to craft everything for that, but we will here shortly. So now we should be able to craft one of those. Boom, engineer's workbench, which we are going to have to put down. So we'll put this down right there for now. So that's the engineer's workbench. So now we need to make this advanced circuit, so we need to make some engineer's blueprints. Let's just make 100 of those. Grab one of these. Oh. Put that in there. Okay. And we need to make this. So that's done. We need aluminum wire. And aluminum. Let's just make 100 of that. That's making that up right now. So that's the aluminum wire done. Now we need to make this, which is nickel plates and glass and aluminum wire. So let's make this real quick. So we need nickel plates. Let's make 100 of those. We need copper wire. Let's make 100 of those. And then we need glass. Let's make 100 glass. We're always out of glass. We'll be using glass for everything, so I just crafted 1,000. And then we need redstone, which we have redstone, so we have all of those. And now we need a bottling machine for this press, but we should actually be able to, so we need this duroplast, so we need to make a bottling machine. So bottling machine. Bottling machine, so we need this. So we need 2, 1, 1, 1, and 3 and 1. Let's just make those real quick. So we need to make this. We know how to make everything else included that. We need to make this, which we can do that. Leather can be made from, we have cow. Leather. We have a cow seed, but no, what is this called? Cow essence. Leather. We have 11k leather, so I'm not really even worried about crafting leather right now. Okay, and we can make that. So now we just have to put these in here. So now if we go at immersive, so we need one of these. We need one of these. We need some of those. We also need to make one of these. And we also need to make 3. Where are they at? So we have one of those. Where are our conveyor belts? Conveyor belts. We need 3 of these. And I believe that's everything needed to make this. So then now this one will be, so we need metal sheets. So we need metal sheet. Okay. So bottling machine is created with metal sheet. Oh, so we need more. We have this. Okay. So it is made. So we'll put this right here. So this one is like this. And then 3. So boom, boom, boom. And then 1, 2. What order was that in? Okay. So it was like that. Okay. And then step number 2 is boom, 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 and conveyor belts. We need that there. We need that there with that. And nope, I don't want those going that way. Oh. Okay, so those would be like that, and then boom, we have our bottler made up. And then so we have our bottler made up. We need to make one of these presses. So if we come over here to make this press, we need 3 steel plates and cutters. So steel plate, we need 3 of those. Thank you. Wire cutters. Like so. And now we put that in there. Oh, so we need to make, is this a special blueprint? There we go, and then we need to make this one, so we have that. So we'll put that there, so now we can put this. Interesting. Okay. So metal press mold. Okay, and then we need to make. So we have the mold. So we have the mold. We don't have the Duroplast sheet yet because we need the resin. To make the resin, you need to make a refinery. So we need to make a refinery real quick. Refinery 2, 2, 2, or 16, 5, 8, and 1. So let's go back to immersive. So we're gonna need 10 more of these. To make 10 more of those, we're gonna need these. We're gonna need these. What else do we need? Refinery 5 and 8. So we need 8 of these. We need 5 of these. Nice. Okay. 16. So too heavy. So we need this. Okay. We don't have those yet. We have everything to make it, I believe. And so we need 2 heavies. Like that. And then now we can make our refinery. First step is going to be 4, and then 1, and okay, all that. So we'll make this one right here. Let's try to keep everything on one side. So now we need to do, I'm going to keep everything up against this wall, but it's not that big of a deal. So 1, 2, and then it is a light and a heavy. So light, heavy, and then it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I believe that was the first one. Yep. And the second one is 4, 4, 1, 1, 1. So this and like that with this right there. And then the last step is 2 more on top. Or like, should be like this, and boom. Easy enough. Put those away. Okay, and then, so to give this power is right here in the back, so that's good to know. So what we can do is drop this back like that. Bring this around like this. And then so we will need to get the power up right there with our accessory, like so. With this connected like that. Make sure that's pulling. There we go. Alrighty, we have our output in the front. I believe our outputs are just in the back of these two. So if we want to mix 2 chemicals, so it'll be 2 exports. Ooh. So that's not nice. I don't like that. Oh wait, it might be import here, which gives us no room, and then a export here. So what we can do is dig this around like so. And then take these up like that, up like that. Clean this up. So clean that up, okay. And then now we need to put these two in here. So let's look at the recipe. So for this to create this, it is creosote oil and this combined. Wait, so let me see if we have what we have for that. So we have the oil, but this is ACE. We don't have the seal oil, which this is made in a refinery. So we're gonna have to make another. We could make another refinery. We have the room to. Let's look real quick. Yeah, we can make another refinery. So let's make another refinery. So let's go at the immersive. So we are going to need more of these. So let's just do 20 of those. We only need 5 of these. And then we need 2 heavies, 2 of those, 1 of those. We need, where is it at? Steel. I think we need 8 of these. So let's grab some more of those. We need those. I think that's everything. And so we can build another one exactly like how we built that one. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 with a light, heavy, light, heavy. We need 5 of these in the middle, like so, with a red in the back, and then 2, 4. I think that's exactly how that was probably the fastest I've ever built anything like this ever. And then we need export, and then a import, and then I want to say this is an export also, but actually it's not. That's the power. So what we can do is just dig this back out like that. Put some dense cable down right there. Boom, up, up. And then I do just want to connect these like that. And we can cover this up. And then we need to run this up like this with one of these. And then like that. Boom. Now this one's hooked up. And so this needs to make ethanol. So I need to put ethanol, which I believe we have ethanol. Polyethylene. So I think our ethanol is coming and going. Ethanol it is. But we need this ethanol, which we need to make a fermenter. So let's make a fermenter. Fermenter only takes 2, 4, 2, 4, 6. Okay. So I need some of those, some of those, some of those, some of these. Fermenter. I need more of these. Don't need that many, but and then 4 cauldrons. Cauldron. All right, let's see how we build this. I think we have everything for it. So easy base, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus 1 light and those in the middle. So nice. So 1 light and then 2, 3, 4. Oh, 2, 4, 6. I need one more. Where's the one more like that? And then the next, okay, so then we need to put 2U in. Then the next is the 4 cauldrons plus, I think that's right there. That's right there. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. I might be wrong about that. I am. So this actually goes right here. And then the last step is to put the 4 above the boom. Now we have the fermenter, which is bugged out. There we go. Set to reload shaders. And so again, once again, we can pull our cable. Make some more real quick. Cable. Let's make 200 of that. All right. And so we will need to take this, flux, bring that over. Boom, that has power now, which we could eliminate faces by connecting them all to power like that, but I'm not really worried about it. We'll wrap this around like this because I have an import right there. Right. Oh, it's in the back too. So we'll put the export on the back right there, and then the import on the front, and then boom, 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 oh. Boom. We need to put acceleration cards in there, like so, and then we are going to need more panels. What we need to put in there, so like to make the ethylene, put potatoes, which, let's see, can you put wheat? I guess that's the question. Can you put wheat in there? Does not look like you can put wheat. Okay, let's see what we can. Potatoes. Can we make a recipe for that? We can. That's a pretty easy recipe. So do that. Put those in there, and then let's get a crafting card. Crafting card. Take that, put that in there. Put potatoes in there, and now this should fill up with potatoes. Should be running, and then this should be exporting the ethylene. Here's the ethylene right there. So then this one's all set up. So now this one needs to pump in the ethylene with the silver plates. Let's add some of these in there. Some of these in there, right? Where does the catalyst go in at? It doesn't have an import spot. Oh wait, no, I'll put that right there. Let's do silver plates, which we don't have any. Let's just do 100. See if that puts it in there. If that puts it in there, then we can put a crafting card in. I don't think it will. It might need to be put in on this side. Let's try that. Does not look like it. But if we take the 64, put it in there. Which that input might have to come from the top. We can try it real quick just to see if we can. Ooh. Is this the catalyst though? This might be the catalyst right here. It's in the middle in between, but we'll try to see if we can export into that. It's just kind of a pain to get over to that. And let's put the plates in there. I want to say it's being stocked up. Take half of those out. Let's see if any more go in there. I don't know if we have any more. We have 36. And then if we... I don't think that's working. So let's try something else. Let's see if we can just put it in it. Let's see if we can put it in right here. Where's our export? Export. Silver plates. Does that fill it up? Might be something we manually have to do because I'm not seeing a way for us to auto do it, which is fine. It's a little annoying, but now we should have this stuff right here. So now we should just be able to put the creosote oil into there, filling up, and we should be able to put this into there. And now this one should be running and it should be pushing out the stuff that we need going into here. So now if we take our cable and import import this. Where's the speed? There we go. This will be filling up with that. And now we should be able to put that down. When there's enough in there, it should... Oh, we need power to this. With power. Oh, we need one more accessor. And then take our power cable. Now we have one of those. Let's just make a few of these. All right. Toss that in there. We can actually toss. I want to say, well, so yeah, wait. Oh, yeah. We can toss everything in here because I believe that's everything that we needed. So now we can create, if we've been able to craft that, now we have, yeah, we should be able to craft everything in there now. We just need to craft this. So if we go over here to craft this, we need one of these blueprints. So grab that blueprint, and then what we need for that, we need the duroplast. So let's go at So we need a duroplast. We need 2 vacuum tubes. So we need nickel, redstone, copper, and glass. Nickel, redstone, copper, and glass, right? Nickel, redstone, copper, and glass. So redstone, nickel, copper. Oh, we made that. Copper, and then glass. All right. And then, so now if we take this right here, we put that in there, and we put these 4, we should be able to make some of these. Well, actually, we can make all this, so we might as well just grab as many of those as we can. And then, so to make this, now we need a duroplast and aluminum. So duroplast, aluminum. Throw that in there with those. Make one of those. And now we should be able to craft it once we make those sheets. Give it a couple of seconds. Boom. And then the Tesla coil is created. And now that the Tesla coil is created, let's claim all these. All right, we can go to the Automod star and we can claim these 2. And we are done with the immersive engineering portion. So that actually wraps up the entire bottom half, except for the Patrick Star and these 3 right here, which are more of an end game type of thing. And so now we are on to, we have Phenomacraft to do. We have Roots Classic, Productive Trees, the Twilight Zone, and external starlights and extreme reactors, which seems like a lot, but that's not really that much. Because again, we're knocking out these mods now. So that's 3 mods, 3 episodes. So we're absolutely killing it. And I know this is a longer episode, but it's kind of worth it because it's a mod completely done in it. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I will catch you guys later.